defining undocumented migrants as invaders.
As President Donald Trump's administration ramps up its immigration crackdown in 2025, Mexico has begun constructing large tent facilities along its northern border to accommodate a growing wave of deported migrants from the United States. This development, initiated in late January, reflects Mexico's response to Trump's aggressive deportation policies, which took effect immediately after his January 20 inauguration. By March 13, nearly 20,000 migrants have been sent back across the border, prompting Mexico to act swiftly to manage the influx. The tent camps, part of the Mexico Embraces You program, are designed to provide temporary shelter and support for deportees, a move that highlights the shifting dynamics of U.S. Mexico relations under Trump's second term. Mexico's government has moved quickly to establish these facilities, with construction beginning in late January across 9 border cities, including Ciudad Juárez, Tijuana, and Matamoros. Drone footage from Ciudad Juárez, aired by outlets like Daily Mail on January 28, shows workers unloading mattresses and assembling massive white tents on empty lots. These structures, each capable of housing hundreds, are being built around the clock by teams of up to 50 laborers per site. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum announced on February 7 that nearly 11,000 deportees had already arrived since Trump took office. With the majority being Mexican nationals, she emphasized that the tent camps would serve as reception centers to process and assist these individuals. The scale of the project is ambitious. The Washington Office on Latin America, WOLA, reported on January 31 that Mexico plans to erect 10 large tent facilities in total, with Ciudad Juárez's camp nearing completion by early February. Tijuana has opted for a different approach, converting the top floor of a shopping center 10 miles south of the border into a reception hub. Posts on X from January 24, credited to users like Wall Street Tapes, noted that 25 shelters were initially proposed. Though official updates confirm the focus on 10 primary sites, these discrepancies suggest early planning evolved as the deportation numbers became clearer. Each facility aims to provide basic amenities like food, medical care, and documentation assistance, addressing immediate needs of deportees. The tent camps are a direct response to Trump's immigration policies, which have drastically reduced illegal crossings while accelerating deportations. On January 20, Trump ended the Biden-era CBP-1 app and banned asylum claims at the border, policies that slashed illegal crossings to 8,500 in February. Per CBP data, concurrently, he launched a deportation campaign that saw 7,300 migrants expelled in his first week, according to the Department of Homeland Security. By early March, Reuters reported nearly 20,000 deportations, with U.S. military planes ferrying migrants back to Mexico and other Latin American countries like Honduras and Panama. Mexico has accepted the bulk of these deportees under a deal struck with Trump in early February, as reported by Reuters. Sheinbaum agreed to deploy thousands of National Guard troops to the northern border to curb migration, staving off Trump's threatened 25% tariffs on Mexican goods. In return, Mexico has had to prepare for an influx of returns, many of whom arrive handcuffed and escorted across bridges like the Hidalgo International in McAllen, Texas. The tent camps are thus a pragmatic solution, offering a temporary buffer as Mexico processes deportees and negotiates their next steps, whether repatriation to other countries or integration into Mexican society. Life in the tent camps is austere but functional. Daily Mail footage from January 27 shows workers setting up rows of cots inside the Ciudad Juárez facility, while Bloomberg's February 8 report described a playroom for children at a Juárez shelter, previously supported by UNICEF before a 90-day USAID freeze took effect. This freeze has strained resources, forcing Mexico to rely on its own funds and nonprofit aid. Sheinbaum has touted the camps as part of a broader plan to fill 50,000 job openings in Mexico's economy with deportees, though details on implementation remain vague. Challenges abound. The Washington Post's Leon Krauss warned on January 31 that Mexico's government may struggle to protect deportees from organized crime groups, which prey on vulnerable populations near the border. Overcrowding is another concern, with some facilities already nearing capacity as deportations continue. Reuters noted on February 7 that Mexico has repatriated non-Mexican deportees to Honduras via flights and buses, easing pressure on the camps. However, the logistics of managing thousands more remain daunting, especially as Trump's administration signals no slowdown in its deportation push. The tent camps symbolize a new chapter in U.S. Mexico cooperation, albeit one born of necessity. Sheinbaum's administration has framed them as a humanitarian effort, with the Mexico Embraces You program aiming to soften the blow for deportees. Yet, they also reflect Mexico's limited leverage against Trump's tariff threats and immigration demands. CBS News reported on February 20 that Border Patrol Chief Mike Banks credited Trump's policies for a 94% drop in illegal crossings, a success that has shifted the burden southward. Mexico's tent initiative is thus a reactive measure, adapting to a U.S. policy that shows no signs of relenting. Politically, the camps have sparked mixed reactions. In Mexico, some see them as a proactive step to manage a crisis, while others criticize the government for bowing to U.S. pressure. In the U.S., Trump supporters laud the deportations as a win, though human rights groups decry the lack of asylum options. The New York Times noted on March 3 that the once-packed border now sees few migrants attempting to cross, leaving Mexico to handle the fallout. The tent camps, visible from above in drone imagery, stand as a physical testament to this shift. As of March 13, 2025, Mexico's tent camps are operational but stretched thin. The Daily Mail's January 28 report of deportees crossing the Hidalgo Bridge in handcuffs underscores the human toll, while WOA's updates suggest the camps will remain critical as deportations persist. Trump's administration has deported fewer total migrants than Biden did in early 2024, per NBC News. Yet the pace and visibility of 2025's removals have forced Mexico into action. With ICE detention centers at 117% capacity and military flights ongoing, the U.S. shows no pause, leaving Mexico's border tents as a frontline response. The future of these facilities hinges on deportation trends and U.S. Mexico negotiations. Sheinbaum's government aims to transition deportees into jobs or onward travel, but resource constraints and security risks loom large. For now, the tents stand as a stark symbol of a border redefined by Trump's policies, housing thousands caught in the crossfire of a hardened immigration stand.
A group of among them farm workers who said they'd been picked up from the fields. What do you think of Trump, they were asked. He's really doing a lot of They're likely to be just the vanguard of many more. That country's president offered repatriation,